Shirt show. All right, let's go.
Shirt show! Talking shirt! Shirt show! Talking shirt! Shirt show! Talking shirt! Shirt show! Shirt man!
All right, episode 80 of Shirt Show. We're talking with Max from Birdwatchers Studio in Philadelphia. Let's go!
Hey, Boo.
Hey, I'm glad you're safe.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
I guess first off, a tornado ripped through St. Louis and then kept going through Illinois and Kentucky. And our thoughts and prayers are with everybody that are affected by it.
Mm-hmm. Did it start in St. Louis?
I don't know, but near it, right outside anyway. Yeah, like our phones, you know how they send out that alert on the phone. Yeah. That sent out and then sirens went on. We turned on our TV just to see like the Weather Channel, and
yeah,
it was coming straight for us. But we were lucky and it missed us. It missed to the shop. But as I think everybody knows, it didn't miss a lot of people. So that's so sad. Terrible, man. But are we recording?
I don't know. Are we?
Mike?
I like hearing your voice. It helps me feel good inside.
Yeah, I mean, I've been thinking about you all day.
Okay, cool.
You go, okay, cool. That's all you got? Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Check this shit out.
Cool. Are you just picking these up now weekly?
Yeah, just some, current Christmas ornaments that I think are, set the tone, like put out a certain vibe. That puts out a certain vibe on Christmas, right?
Cool. I got gushers.
Okay, so the shitty thing is the Bob. Let me show you this one.
Yeah, you said the Bob Ross one was destroyed.
I took it home that night in my backpack, and I thought I had it secure, but no. Damage. Well, we still, the most important thing is we got his face. We got his face and the smile, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he basically what he does is chill with Posty right up there on the tree.
Yep. Post Malone's from here.
No. So he's from Texas.
No, he's from Syracuse. He lived in Texas.
Should I text him real quick? Mm-hmm. Let's get him on the phone because this isn't true.
Yeah, this is. We got Post Malone, Bobcat Goldthwait, and Dio from Cortland. Ronnie James.
When you say from here, Syracuse, whatever it is, isn't from where you live. You don't live in Syracuse.
I live in the bubble. It's like not far from me.
Yeah, when you said from here, I was like, wow, he's from Whitney Point. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's cool. Like, you went to high school with him or something?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. Wikipedia.
It's not accurate.
Early life. Ready? He was born on July 4th. Well, that's badass. And he was born in Syracuse, New York. But he moved away the next day.
Because it was shitty.
To Texas.
The very next day.
So yeah. Like he spent a day there and he was like, I'm out.
Yeah, fuck this place.
How was Chicago?
It was fun. It was kind of a super last minute trip. Found out this weekend that I had the opportunity to go to Chicago, and it worked out really well for me because one of my favorite bands, Lawrence Arms, was playing in Chicago hometown show, and I got tickets. So I went to M&R and talked about education for quite a while with the girls, with the varsity ladies, and then went to Lawrence Arms the next day and flew home.
Yeah, I see like a pattern developing here. So basically it is, where's one of my favorite bands playing? And I have business there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then you go there on business. And then it just so happens that one of your favorite bands is playing there. That's cool.
Weird.
Yeah, that's cool.
Weird how that happens.
It works out sometimes, in life, like
what a coinky dink.
Yeah, it does. Every once in a while. Anyway, I think that's the show.
Yeah.
So thanks.
See you later.
Yeah. Bye.
Love you, bye.
Love you. Yeah. We did it with the same hand. Well, almost. I guess it was flipped. I don't know how that works.
It's flipped. Yeah.
This is weird because
You're weird. Tell me about your week.
It's definitely bipped.
It's
definitely
bipped.
bipped.
Wow.
It's
Cool.
super
You're getting
bipped.
real hip. You get all the hip words.
You probably don't know what that means, do you?
No, it's a St. Louis thing.
Yeah. Well, it's bipped for sure.
Mhm.
And it's just not quite. Well, I would say embroidery is banging. Like it's pretty stacked up still, but screen
Bipped
printing
and banging.
is bipped. We still have, like, we print it every day, of course,
Yeah.
but it's just not as overtime and as crazy and as holy shit. Pedal to the metal. We're not
Did
getting
it
enough done.
Did it slow down quite a bit for you?
What are you talking about? That's what I'm talking about.
I know, but like a good amount, not just like a little bit.
Were you listening to the first like 15 sentences I just
All I
said?
heard was bipped, and I was like, "This guy's fucking has no idea what's going on in life."
All right, let's talk to. How was your week? Yeah, let's talk about that. Was it
my
bipped?
week? My week was so fucking bipped. Yeah, I mean, Monday I came in, did the normal shit, worked. Tuesday was visited by Alex, and varsity girls came up and hung out here, and we went to steak night. And then Wednesday I flew out to Chicago and I did that whole thing. And I flew back Friday afternoon and was exhausted. So I went home, took a nap, just kind of hung out. And then today I went to the diner with the kids and then went to get some stuff downtown. And then I'm here with you on a Saturday.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
When you say varsity girls, I think everybody should know it's the Christinas.
The Christinas,
basically, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they came up, from what I understand, they came up to teach you how to screen print, right?
Right. Yes.
And so
super smart ladies.
did you get anywhere?
I got schooled. Yeah.
By the varsity.
Schooled by the
that makes sense.
varsity, right? The girls, yeah.
Right.
And yeah, it was good. It was a good time.
Hey, how does Santa wash his hands?
You're pissed?
Nope.
Mm.
Sanitizer.
Okay, cool.
I almost messed that up, but
Someone didn't think very hard on that one.
oh no, I thought really hard because that wasn't
Oh, it was
the
you.
original.
Okay.
Like I kind of wrote that halfway.
Yeah, I can tell.
Fuck off. What's yours? Okay, let's hear yours. Okay, go ahead.
You've heard of Murphy's Law, but have you heard of Cole's Law?
Coleslaw. Yeah.
It's
That's
pretty much
pretty good.
cabbage and mayonnaise.
Mm-hmm. But that's not Christmas. So I win.
How many Christmas ones?
Well, you knew the theme today and you blew it.
I blew it all
Yeah.
over.
Do you have any other Christmas dad jokes?
No. I'll do better next time, Dad. Sorry.
Okay, good one.
Cool.
That was a good one, Dylan.
Thanks.
Prank. Oh.
What is that? Cookies?
Cookies
Are they gluten free?
from Frank. I doubt it. I hope
Frank.
I hope not.
I hope Frank made
And-
them himself.
We got a card. He did. They're special cookies.
Like how special? Like got some of that devil's lettuce in there?
Oh. Ooh, okay, Frank. Okay. Send me a pic.
A Polaroid?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Frank.
Wishing you and your family a Merry Xmas. I like you better than Dylan. Frank.
That's not what that says. So it's
Thanks, Frank.
you know what that
Thanks,
is?
Frank.
Is I haven't gotten any cookies yet, so it's probably poison for paying for dinner that night. So enjoy your fucking cookies, asshole.
Yeah. Well, maybe you'll get a card.
I'll probably get like steaks.
You see that? See that?
Yeah. See how the Golden Boys poster to help go to their fund.
I think also that they had enough, like that first round of sales, that they're gonna they announced
Give away
it
some
anyway, but
equipment.
they're gonna give away some stuff, but I don't think we know who yet.
Good guys over there.
Good guys.
Mm-hmm. Did
What
we
next?
want to talk about Frank, especially after you made me do the Frank button?
You know, it all starts with the screen.
Truth.
And whether it's new stretches or re-stretches, Frank and his team do it the best.
Definitely true.
To find out more, go to graphicscreenfashion.com, FFFFF,
Rank.com.
or
GreatFuckingScreens.com.
exactly. Good job, Dylan.
Thanks, man.
Nobody likes cleaning screens, let's face it.
Nobody.
But Easy Way makes it easier. Their line of eco-friendly chemicals will help you keep your screens and your shop clean.
Truth.
Check them out at easyway.com. Easy Way.
It's the easiest way. Hands down.
Hey, did you know Action Engineering makes accessories printers need?
You don't say.
I do. They have all kinds of rad stuff on their website, actionengineering.com. And be sure to use Shirt Show at checkout and get a one-time discount of
1,000,000% off.
false, 15% off. And while we're on this topic, our guest today made a post that had me laughing out loud. He made this post where it was like on Thanksgiving or right around. It says, check out this turkey I drew. Go to my shop, type in any code you want and get 0% off your order. This ain't Macy's. Enjoy your clams.
Perfect
I like it.
Post.
I know, right? Monarch makes ink.
Truth.
Mm-hmm.
Monarch.com.
Yeah.
It's not even monarch.com. It's like monarchcolor.com.
It is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Aaron's going to be pretty upset with you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we better also say that they make an everyday white, which I just got another drum of. It showed up Stark LB white.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What's kick-ass about that is you can use it for the mixing system. It's the same white. You don't need a special white.
Yes.
Yes. So learn more at monarchcolor.com.
Mm-hmm.
Ink better, print better, be better.
Live Moss.
Monarch. Mm-hmm. Heck yeah.
Fuck
That's pretty good.
You're so good. Hey, I want to say this is totally for me. Sorry if I'm hijacking, but we are doing a toy drive here at Upstate. So if anybody wants to send toys to some local kids who need it, just mail some shit to Upstate Merch, 9 Railroad Street, Whitney Point, New York, 13862. And I'm going to get it to some local kids.
Awesome of you, dude.
And while you're in those good spirits, go to our YouTube page or our Instagram and like and subscribe and do all those awesome things and share about us because you love us and we love you.
Mm-hmm. Cheers. You got something there? You got anything?
Yep.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy. You want to tell everyone about our guest today?
When you cheers, you got to drink some. You don't just.
Oh shit. Sorry.
Okay. That's a proper cheers right there.
Oh yeah.
Our guest today is Max Gordon from Birdwatchers Studio in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. His thing is pool. Like he does shirts for the pool world, not pools like swimming pool.
He's a pool boy.
Billiards. Oh, he is a pool boy, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of neat.
Hashtag pool boys.
You ready? You want to stretch
it out? Yeah, fuck yeah, I need to stretch.
Take a breath.
Oh yeah. Stretch all those muscles I don't have. Yeah. Get in there.
Ready?
I'm so stretched. I pre-stretched before this.
Mm.
You gotta do your up downs. Ready? Can you touch your tongue to your nose? I don't come anywhere near.
Either.
That's all I got.
You can't do it.
I'm tongue challenged.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Shall we?
Let this son of a bitch in. Let's talk about
Max.
pools.
It's not pools. You misunderstood. I tried to make it clear.
We're just swimming. He's gonna be swimming, right?
Yes, exactly.
Some floaties. You probably wore floaties, didn't you?
No, not me. I was on the swim team. I told you that story.
Hairless. Be honest. When you were on the swim team, did you shave your body?
I didn't have hair. I never hit puberty.
Yeah, that's true. You're not lying about that.
The doctors looked at it and they couldn't figure anything out. And they were just like,
Oh, he's not swimming.
Can you hear me?
Hey.
Yes.
All right.
We got it.
Cool. I don't need two of these, right? Just one?
It depends on who you want to hear more.
Yeah. I think it's just one.
We got it in stereo. So pick who you really want to listen to.
I think I can hear both of you, right?
Can you?
I think so. That's how it works because I take one out sometimes to charge, you know?
I'm just saying it would be cooler if it was like me on one and you on the other. And he was like, fuck Andy, and took it out and just set it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Apple guy. Well, I kind of am. So I have J Run.
Oranges and pears.
I don't have the I don't have the regular headphone like everybody else, like the Air. Whatever.
Why are you anti-Apple?
I'm just anti-iPhone. I've tried it and I don't like it. I can't do it.
Android all the way.
It's not like a philosophical, like an ethical thing.
Oh no, not at all. No, it's just I actually had an iPhone for like a week, and I was like, "Can I bring this back if I don't like it?" And the guy just laughed at me. He's like, "Yeah, sure." And then a week later, I brought it back, and he was like, "No one's ever done this before." And I was like, "I just didn't like it. I don't know. The buttons are small. It's weird. I'm like all Galaxy, but I draw on an iPad. That's what I'm looking at right now, and my computer's iMac. Just my phone.
I don't get it.
Nobody does.
So what's going on today? It's weird. We're recording on a Saturday. So
is it?
Yeah. So are we killing your Saturday tonight? Are we ruining your weekend plans?
No. I got the fights coming on at like 6 and I'm good.
I'm watching them too after this.
Oh, cool. Nice. Who you got? You think it's Poirier or
Yeah.
I'm going. I think I'm going to Oliveira.
All right.
With a submission.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to watch the prelims. I think I'm just going to get on at 10 and watch the main card.
Yeah. I just bought it right now. I'll probably order a pizza and drink more beer.
How much does that cost?
I don't know. I haven't bought it in a long time, but I think it's like 60, 65 bucks maybe.
$69.99 I just paid.
They would make it 69.
Yeah, right.
I mean, why not? If you have to make a price around there, you might as well go with 69.
Yeah, I just don't get the 99 cents. It always annoys the shit out of me.
Because it sounds cheaper.
That's right. It does.
Right.
And then 70.
Makes you think like it's a good deal.
Yeah.
So other than that, what's going on? How's things?
Good, busy. I just got rid of like I don't want to say got rid of. I stopped doing contract for him.
Good for you.
So I could focus more on like my designs and my artwork and all my screen prints and stuff like that. I figured, I don't know. It was a lot of work for a lot of time. So
for a little money.
I want to focus on my stuff. I have a lot more fun doing it. You know, it's like way, oh my God, I'm the worst. Sorry. I don't know if you heard that.
That wouldn't have happened on an iPhone.
Yes, it would.
Let's be honest.
I actually only listened to one episode so far. I swear I'll listen to more. And I felt weird, but I was like, am I going to be like the only guy to go on the show and be like, I don't love printing t-shirts?
No, dude. It'd be cool to hear that perspective.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. You know, it's good money. It's cool to not to have a boss because I just work for myself. It's just me. I don't have anybody I have an assistant, but he like goes to school. So sometimes he comes for holiday weekends or holidays and stuff like that. But I got into screen printing after school, but I became a graphic designer in Center City, Philadelphia. And if you've ever worked in like a design office, there's a ton of downtime. So I would just go on Craigslist and look for like screen printing equipment. And I found a shirt press and a dryer and stuff, and it was kind of like all in one shot. So I bought it thinking like maybe I'll use it for like my own stuff. I just had like extra money and extra time and stuff because I was just doing this stupid job. Well, it was a good job, but and then I started to pick up. Well, I set everything up in my parents' basement, and then I set everything up and just started taking orders. But I was burning screens in my studio in Philly and bringing them back to my parents' house in Jersey. And I was like, I'll just do this to pay the bills. So I quit that job, and they were really cool. And then they gave me like all their screen printing business. And it was cool. I was doing
the design place had screen printing business that they didn't want.
Yeah. We were doing design for like Sailor Jerry, Narragansett, Guinness, Miller, all kinds of stuff. So I got a bunch of little accounts doing that. And I was like, all right, this will just like help my like drawing habit, you know?
Right.
And then I got so much work, like never advertised. It was just all word of mouth. And it got really hectic. And then, you know, I got into debt, and then I paid the debt off, and I've been printing t-shirts a lot. And I feel happier when I'm doing my own artwork and t-shirts. And, you know, I don't have like a huge following or anything, but it's just, I have way more fun making art, and I'd rather make less money right now. So I just tried to free up some time.
So you don't like printing t-shirts, but do you like, because you print posters too, is that where you're at more? Like you actually enjoy that, and it's just the t-shirt thing?
Yeah.
Do you like screen printing or are you? I love
all parts of screen printing. I like t-shirt printing, but like when I'm printing like client job after client job and like nothing of my stuff has been printed, I kind of fall into like a slump, and I'm like, man, I hate this, but like it pays the bills and I don't mind doing it. I like the challenge. I like the challenge of like, not just t-shirts. Like I like when somebody comes to me and they want some weird thing that I have to like make some weird setup to print. So that's fun. Yeah. And even like Pantone mixing and I got into water-based ink and discharge. So that kind of like rejuvenated me a little bit. Because now I'm like, all right, cool. I could do like really good quality stuff, and it's like a little bit more fun because it's like challenging and all that kind of thing. But also, it's the quality that I really like doing that. But yeah, the paper printing's cool. I like doing that too.
So when you left the design place and got the screen printing stuff, like how long did it take you to like get up to speed on like how to print well enough to have those clients? I feel like those are clients that would be a little bit picky.
Yeah, for sure. I actually, I interned and I worked I got an internship while I was in school at UArts in Philly. And then I got an internship with Awesome Dudes. Shout out Awesome Dudes. They helped me with everything. And so got the internship. They hired me. I worked there for like 3 or so years. And then, you know, bounced around from like bar jobs to a tattoo shop. And then I eventually found the design firm. And so I had that all under my belt. Like I knew everything. And I was also screen printing posters during that time.
Okay. So you had pretty decent knowledge by that point.
Yeah. Nothing with water-based ink and discharge and stuff like that, but plastisol and like all kinds of stuff, paper. And we did all kinds of weird shit. We did like, one time we did a cake. We like screen printed this like chocolate on this cake thing. It was really cool. But yeah.
I don't know. I feel that because I like screen printing, but you know, if you get in this, I don't know, mode of just job after job, that's like you said earlier, either contract, and sometimes contract work it's fun to print, you know, it depends on what contractor you're talking about. But like if you're getting good art or something, that's great. But there's times on press though, that we're printing something that you don't like, you know, and that could be, you know, the whole week can go by and you don't really love something, but usually there's something sprinkled in there that is fun, whether it's the design or just maybe the, you know, the colors on it or some sort of challenge, you know, that makes it fun. Sure. But for me, it seems like I know that yesterday I went to turn off the second dryer and I was waiting because we had something like, I don't know, maybe there were 20 more shirts left and I was trying to get out of here like right at 5. And so the dryer takes like 20 minutes to cool or whatever. So I was like trying to get that dryer off by maybe 4:30 at the latest and kick everybody out for the weekend. And I was standing over there and I thought to myself, have I like been on press at all this entire week? You know, like, have I pulled one shirt off of a press or loaded one shirt on a press? And I couldn't remember. I don't think I did. And I thought to myself, that's sort of soul crushing, you know, like, because, you know, I started this because I thought screen printing was cool. And here I am. I went a whole week at work and I didn't print a shirt, and that sucks. So I feel like the idea, I mean, I hear you when you say that, you know, you want to do something that you like. And I guess that's graphic design, and then also maybe poster work, and then some screen printing stuff, or printing for yourself. And I think that we need to do more of that here. You know, we really need to make time, because that's the hardest thing. We really just need to set aside time that's just as important as our other jobs to print something for us. Yeah. And we just haven't. We haven't done, I don't know if we've done anything this year, you know?
Do you do like your own like shop shirts at all?
We used like to, not to sell. No, just to give away, or like for everybody that works here, and then we give them away at the front.
Yeah. That's cool. That's like one of my favorite things to do, is when I come up with a Birdwatchers design. It's like, it seems stupid because it's like it's basically like a business card, but people dig them, and I enjoy doing them and give them as gifts all the time. But sometimes I started bringing them to shows. Like I do like art fairs and punk rock flea markets and stuff. And somebody picked up one of my shirts and they were like, "Is this a band?" And I was like, "No, it's like my business." And they're like, "I'm buying it. This is so cool." And I was like, "Whoa, that's awesome. That's like my business card." So that was like really fun.
That's cool when they're super into it, even though it's just something that you created. You know what I mean? It doesn't really have anything behind it too much other than your art.
Do you guys do paper printing or just shirts?
Just apparel. I've always wanted to get into paper printing. I don't know. I just never have the time to dive into it too much, which is funny too, because like I collect screen printed posters. Like it's one of my favorite things is to get screen printed posters from movies, like especially like movies I really like. So all the prints like in the office and everything are all screen printed posters, you know, like 1 of 20 or 1 of 50 or whatever. I would love to print those someday. It's just one of those things. Like I have so much shit going on with just screen printing and like apparel printing that it's like, it's going to have to be one of those things where later in life, I'm just a little, you know, I need another hobby. And I feel like right now I have too many hobbies. Yeah. Right. So I'm waiting until that moment. But no, I think it's super awesome. I love the art of it. I love that it's, especially with a lot of those people, is it's, everything's limited edition. You know what I mean? You can go on a gallery site. Like I'll go on a gallery site, and look at movie posters, and I'll go through, and there'll be some I really like. And I'm like, oh, this design's super rad. And I'll go to like, see what it is when you buy it. And you can see if it's like, you know, like digitally printed or screen printed. And if it's digitally printed, I'm like, I don't even want this.
I'm so biased when it comes to buying artwork. I'm like, if it's not screen printed, I don't want it.
Right. And that's the thing. That's the thing that sucks though too, is you know that like they're just sending it to a printer and then like they're just hitting print and it's coming out like, you know, one off. But you know, if it's screen printed, there's like a person behind it, like pulling a squeegee or, you know, moving it and doing it fucking, if it's a 10 color, putting it on 10 times.
Yeah. And somebody stirred the ink by hand and all that kind of stuff.
Right. It makes it so much more like, I don't know, so much more real.
Yeah.
So that's what's upsetting is you see a real cool piece of art and you're like, oh man, I would love that. And you see that they didn't get it screen printed at all. You're like, well, that's dead to me now.
Yeah. I bought 2 Robert Crumb pieces. One of them is like right there. It was like my first 2 pieces of art that I bought. And I was like, and they're prints. They're like digital prints. And I really love them, but I'm like, I wish they were screen printed. So I saved up and I got that like big, like Stoned Again. It's a 16 color screen print. It's like, it's so insane. And it's like the last time I bought digital printed art was him, but he's a legend. So it's not there.
Yeah. While we're talking about movies, Max, tell me that I hope your favorite movie is The Color of Money.
I've never seen
Tom Cruise.
I've never seen it.
Well, you have to.
Yeah, I should see it, but I've seen the original, like because that was the sequel to The Hustler with Paul Newman, and that's like one of my favorite movies ever. that's kind of what I thought. Have you seen the Queen's Gambit?
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah,
I love that too.
So the writer of the Queen's Gambit book, he wrote The Hustler and Color of Money.
Oh really?
So I think to bring pool back, we need a Netflix special, like a show.
Yeah, I didn't know that was
cool.
a sequel. I thought it was like a remake of like an older one, and then just had Tom Cruise or whatever. But
yeah, it was like when Paul Newman's character from The Hustler, he gets older and then he realizes everybody's like playing nine ball. I've never seen the movie. I read the book. The book is like incredible, but I haven't seen the movie. My favorite movie is True Romance. That's my favorite movie.
Nice.
No
Solid
shit.
thing.
Yeah, that's solid for sure. Yeah, I was just talking about it the other day because we were talking like Quentin Tarantino movies, and that one came up. And Brad Pitt's character always cracks me up in that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us about the whole pool thing.
I grew up playing pool. Just getting my ass kicked by like my uncles when I was a kid, and then started to get older. And then when you get older, you gotta put $5 up or whatever to play, like during Thanksgiving.
Now, were you playing pool at your house, or were you like your parents dragged you to a bar and then you played pool?
No, we had a table at the house growing up. We grew up in bars, but pool was never really like. There's not a lot of pool tables like where I'm from, so they weren't like in the bars. We just had one in my house. And then my uncles would come over and kick my ass, and then just got good at it, and then got older and started shooting at bars and stuff. And then I found out about APA, it's the American Pool Players Association or whatever. And I play in a league now, and tournaments and all kinds of stuff.
That's awesome.
And I guess it goes like hand in hand with like my art and like the influences that I have. Cause it's like, I really like how like seedy that whole world is, but like, you go out and play pool in a league and everyone's like super nice, but I do like the seediness of that kind of
like how it's portrayed in movies.
Yeah. That, and like how, if I'm shooting good at like a bar, people are like, oh, you're like a pool shark or whatever. You're like a pool hustler or whatever. I'm like, I'm not a hustler. I just really like I really enjoy the game.
Right. But have you hustled anybody before?
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's what I really wanted. Don't act like you're above it.
Well, I've been hustled, so that's why I've tried to hustle, Right.
Well, that violates one of your pool etiquette rules.
What's that? What?
I think there was a poster where you had pool etiquette, and one of them was like no pool sharks or something like that.
Oh no, there's no sharking. So no sharking is different. Like if you were to shark, that's like, if you like, you try to distract somebody while they're shooting pool. I see that a lot of bars. Like people go down to shoot, and some idiots on the other side like trying to.
That's called sharking. That's okay. Sharking. Yeah, see, I thought sharking was like that you played a game and you act like you suck. And then you bet money, and then you're awesome.
Yeah, I think that's also like another term for it. But I always do sharking, and sharking could even be like talking shit. Like you could be sitting on your side with your team, and you could be like talking shit or distracting. Or people have done like if I'm shooting, like I remember this one time recently, I go down for the 8-ball, and a dude pretends like he's watching sports and he's freaking out, and I look up at the TV and nothing's happening, and I'm like, okay, I get it, but it didn't work.
So how often do you play then?
I have a table in my studio, so I play like every day. You guys know Morning Breath Inc. That's these guys. Yeah. I saw a picture of their studio and it had a pool table in it. And I was like, oh my God, I'm doing that. So that's like why I have the size of the studio that I have now. It's just like
just because you can have a pool table.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah. I had a pool table for a little while, and I don't know. It was my uncle had a pool table in his house growing up, and it was one of those things where every time we went over there, that was the first thing we did is we ran upstairs and played pool. But he had like such a small attic area that it was just like a 6-foot solid slate table, so it was like a real small one. And I remember when we were real little kids, my brother got his arm stuck in it, and he had to take the whole pool table apart to get him out.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say like that was super funny, and like I've always had that ingrained in my head. And then when I bought my first house, I had this upstairs room that was very similar to like my uncle's, and I was like, I want to get a fucking pool table just like his. So I like scoured the internet, found an old like solid wood, solid slate table that was that same 6-foot table. And I went and got like the red felt to match like his, and like redid everything, put it all back together, like new rubbers for the bumpers and corners and everything, and like new felt. Got the whole thing like put back together. And then I bought this light that was like a, what's it called there? Like a stained glass kind of bar light that went over top, and it had like some spots that needed touched up with black. So I got this like black glass paint, and I had it in my hand, and I went up to do it, and I dumped the bottle on the fucking table. So I had to I like literally brand new felt, like just did the whole thing. Yeah. So I had to take the table apart again, take all the felt off, redo the felt again. And then, it just kind of like, it was one of those things. Like, I'm not like super into pool, but it was always fun to play. Like when you had family over for like Christmas or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
And it got to the point where that's pretty much the only time it ever got used was like on a holiday where like family came over. Yeah. So a little while ago, I ended up calling a buddy, and I was just like, yeah, you can have the table if you want. So it was kind of like soul crushing a little bit to like put all the work into it, get it all where you need it to be, and then to just like give it away. But I feel like I got my satisfaction in like getting it, fixing it, playing it for a little while, and then
that's cool. You just passed it on to somebody else. Hopefully they're putting some use to it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Did you do the felt yourself?
Yeah,
nice.
That was challenging.
I've never done it, but I've recently had these guys come in to refelt my table, and I don't know if you're familiar with like just a regular bar table. They're it's not drop pockets, so it'll have the system where it goes down underneath.
Yeah, that's how mine was.
So so it was really loud, and I felt bad about my neighbors at the studio. So I was like, whatever, I'll just stuff the pockets. So I just take all these like test print shirts and I just shove all the pockets. So then they came over so they took off the slate, and they're looking in it, and they're like, oh dude, you got dirty underwear here. And I'm like, bro, it's a print shop. Like they're just t-shirts. They just look all shitty.
Like actual shit on them. That's why they were like, oh, there's dirty underwear in here.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like blue shit all over these. But it was cool when they were there, they were watching me print, and they were like, can you print on pool table felt? And I was like, I don't know. Let me try. So they gave me like a little piece. I did a couple tests for them with like water-based ink. And they said they were going to like hit me up so I can print logos on like big pieces of fabric for them. And I was really excited about it, but they never.
That'd be really cool. That'd be really cool with water-based.
Yeah. Because I tested it with plastisol just because I was printing plastisol at the time, and I was like, and I put it on another screen and I did water-based, and it looked great.
Yeah.
Felt great. I can't feel it at all. It was cool.
I've had people ask if we could print on poker table felt before, which I guess is the same thing.
Oh yeah.
But have you ever had like, what's the craziest thing somebody's asked you to print on?
When I was at Awesome Dudes, we did ceiling tiles. That was pretty cool. But me at Birdwatchers, just like I did notebooks, but that's not that weird. I did
I feel like the cake is pretty weird.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah. I think it was like a big piece of chocolate or something. And then it was like a big piece of chocolate. And I remember they were like, well, how we got to like melt the chocolate a little bit to pull it through the screen. And I'm sitting there, and the owner, Ralph, Pink Bike Ralph, he was printing it. And I was like, I don't even know if he wants me saying this, but he was printing it. I was like, you're going to be able to eat that? There's like emulsion and shit, like all over top of the cake and stuff. But I don't know if anybody ended up eating it, but that was fun. I did cornhole.
The game, hopefully.
Yeah. And like bar taps, like for beer, for Pilsner Urquell. I don't know. There's probably some random shit. Do you guys print masks?
I did a couple for like one client, but that's all I did. I kind of opted out of that whole thing.
Yeah, that was a nightmare.
Andy,
I did it like one time.
Bella once, didn't you?
Oh yeah, we did a tremendous amount of masks, but mainly for just one person. And then it sort of, we didn't offer it, like we didn't actively try and sell them or anything, but we got calls for them and we said, yeah, we can do it. And so we ended up actually switching because it turned into, they weren't flat anymore, and most of them were either pleated or curved or something like that. And so we ended up just transferring. So we would print transfers and this transfer onto the mask. It was way easier. And at the quantities we were doing anyway, it was way easier.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, oh man, I'll get those mask palettes and shit. And I did one job and it was like black and then white ink. And I just like put puff additive in it so I didn't have to do 2 passes. Right. And then after that, I was like, I'm never doing this again. That was a pain in the ass.
So go back to, I guess you started screen printing and you were like, all right, I'll take on client stuff. And then how long did you do that until you were like, oh, I'm just going to start doing my own stuff? Or were you doing your own stuff then too? You just had too much client work?
So I guess I could go back like even before the design, the design firm. I got the internship. And then me and Ralph, we got a studio together because he was doing like posters for venues. Mm-hmm. And I was just like so interested. I'd annoy the shit out of him and just like wait till after work while he printed and asked him like a million questions about it. So I started screen printing posters first. That was like, so I was getting work from like, thanks to Ralph, through the Electric Factory and Live Nation and stuff like that. So I started out like printing my own illustrations, which was really cool. And then
were you manually printing all that stuff, or do they have like an auto?
Oh yeah, no manual. Yeah, I did manual. I mean, I just have like the one arm bandit thing.
Yeah,
with the vacuum table now. But yeah, I was doing everything like breaking my brutal, but. Yeah, we did a lot of hand-pulled screen printing for the posters, and I was doing posters really like the pandemic. Those were just all over the place, but yeah. So it was after the studio that I had printing posters and everything. Sorry, what was your question?
Just that, like when you got your studio, you decided that you were going to take on the client work that the design firm sent you. And
oh, right.
Yeah. Like you got into doing that, but then you were also printing your own stuff at the same time, or you waited, or?
Yeah. I was always doing like, I was always doing punk rock flea markets and art shows. So I was always printing my own shirts or my own tote bags and koozies and all kinds of stuff like that. So it was always like in the mix. I've been drawing since I was a little kid. And then since I learned screen printing, I've basically been kind of printing my own stuff on the side.
Right. So that's what I was going to ask you is like with your design thing, were you kind of always trying to get in the design world as far as like working at a firm, or you just kind of fell into it?
I guess I fell into it because I left the shop and I was working at a lot of bars, and I ended up dating this girl who was a graphic designer. And I saw like how much she was making, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, what are you doing every day? Like, what kind of design are you doing? And she would show me, and I was like, I could do that in my fucking sleep. So I was like, I got to get one of those gigs. And this was around the time where I was like, fighting like with being an artist or whatever, and just being like, I got to shut this creative shit off. Like, it's like, I need a regular job where I can be creative and then like go home. So I thought this was perfect. And then I was on Craigslist one night and I found an internship to the design place. And I was like 26 or 27. I think I was 26. Yeah, I was 26. Turning 27 soon. And I went for the interview and they were like, I had like a ton of posters and all kinds of shit like that. And
you had cool shit to show them.
Yeah, exactly. I looked like an illustrator designer kind of person, but like I was getting paid like not a lot of money for posters and it wasn't like paying the bills. So they looked at the portfolio and they were like, you're not like getting paid. This is like an internship. You're not getting paid for this. And I was like, yeah, but every time I try to go get a job, there's like, everybody's like, you don't have any experience. And I'm like, because nobody will hire me because I don't have experience. It doesn't make sense. So really the only option was to get an internship.
Right.
And Yeah, I got it based off like the posters that I did and stuff like that, which was weird. But seeing that the posters were illustration, but also like graphic design, that a friend of mine made me realize, he was like, "You're a graphic designer as well. You're not just this like illustrator because you went to school for that." And I was like, "Oh, cool. I never thought of it like that." So that's how I kind of.
So all the posters that you showed them were ones that you designed and printed?
Yeah. In school, like some of them were like, "Oh my God, I went to that show." And, so it's like, I kind of had like an in,
Right. How long did you intern?
I think it was like 3 months or something.
And then they hired you on?
Yeah. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. They would come to my desk. I remember the first day they came to my desk and they're like, "Do you know how to like do this thing or whatever?" And I was like, "Yeah, for sure." And I just Googled like, "How do you do this thing?" And that's how I just learned design in that place. Fake it till you make it.
Like you never had any formal training in Adobe, like in Illustrator or Photoshop or anything like that. You just were self-taught.
Yeah, I was so scared of Illustrator for like the longest time. And I was like, "Oh, I only do Photoshop." But I was just like too scared to learn Illustrator. So, because at school, I went to school for animation and then switched over to illustration. So there was like, you get kind of like the software experience in school, but basically they're like, just, you got to teach yourself this stuff. And I was going for illustration, and never once did anyone ever tell me, "Hey, you could like make money and be a graphic designer and do like your illustration on the side and stuff." So that was really weird to like finally be like 26 years after school and be like, "Oh, I can do what graphic designers do and like actually make some money doing this. This is cool." Great.
You were doing it in the beginning just because it was artistic and you wanted to do that stuff.
Yeah. Like, I've always been into illustration and
Right.
I think what happened in school, I put my project on the wall and I threw like all these textures all over it and like made it look like screen printed. And like, I took it like off registration and stuff. And
Right.
at this time I had no idea what screen printing was. And somebody was like, "Oh, this looks screen printed. You should get the screen printed." And I was like, "Yeah, cool." I was like, "What's that?" And they were like, "What's that?" And then that's how I got the internship, because they were like, "Go to this place and learn from them." So my work like started to get, because I was always influenced like from like old packaging and like you see like cardboard boxes and you're like, why does that look like that? It's like fucked up, but it's cool looking. And that's how I got into, I don't know, like it was almost like, I don't know, not like subliminal, but I just always kind of knew it was going to happen.
It was just the style you were looking at was.
Yeah.
So when you were working at the design place, did they have a set goal for you every day? You were like, you are working on this, or they just looked at you whenever they needed a specific skill set thing that you had?
Well, at first it was like they were just throwing all this stuff at me, kind of figuring out where I'm going to fit, because there were so many different brands. So I'm doing like bullshitty, like correction stuff and fixing old posters from last year to make it updated for this year and stuff like that. And then they started to use my drawing skills a little bit more. And, because one account will be like, "Oh, we need this like little doodle. Like, do you guys have any designers that they could do that?" And they would come to me. And I guess they would eventually start coming to me for more illustration and kind of like goofy cartoony stuff, but also like they knew I knew like how to manipulate images to make them look older. And so they were into that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, it was funny because like a good friend of mine, Zach Newton, worked at Hallmark forever. Like he literally just stopped working at Hallmark. And that was funny because it was his day job was like, illustrations for all these cards. And it was like all over the place, like what kind of cards he was making. And then he would go home and he had like his specific style of like design that he would do freelance when he got home. So that's what I was wondering. Like, did you have like a style that you used when you were at work, and then a totally different aesthetic when you got home?
Yeah. I kind of like consciously was like, don't do your, like, do a good job, but like, don't do your A game, like personal kind of stuff. Like, because, sometimes in a place like that, if you do something like that, you're helping build a brand. And in a place like that, as a designer, you're just like a tool that they use. You're not like a big shot. Right. So you can easily help out a brand. Yeah. So I consciously kind of like stayed away from doing too much stuff. And also my style wasn't really what they were looking for some things. They wanted like really old. It was during the time like everybody was ripping off land. You guys know that? Work by land. It's like, I'm sure you've seen similar thing. It would be like a chick with like a snake wrapped around her arm next to like a little fountain, and it's just line drawings and stuff like that. So they would do that a lot too. They'd be like, hey, look at this thing. Just remake that. And it's kind of like how I got burnt out on that place. Cause I was like, I'm not ripping people off. And it happens in every design place, I would imagine. I mean, I'm sure there's some that don't. What
was their main market? You said that you had a couple beer places or whatever. Was it mostly that kind of stuff?
It was all booze. So it was Sailor Jerry, Hendrick's Gin, Narragansett, all that kind of stuff. Just mainly booze. Trying to think of it. I think they did like golf shoes or something like that.
It's related.
Yeah, their thing was they would create brands and then sell them, or be like the major, like the art direction behind the brands.
Right.
So I guess like the owner would have a piece of it and stuff. It was really cool. I learned so much working there. It was really awesome. And then I remember it was my 30th birthday. I quit smoking cigarettes, and I was like, I'm going to quit my job today because like shit's getting crazy. So I was just really happy that they were cool. And the owner was super nice because he was like, where are you going? He thought I was just going to like a new spot.
Place, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm just going to like open up a little print shop and do my own thing or whatever. And he's like, that's how you make the money. He's like, I'll send you all our work. And I was like, all right, sick. And another thing that helped was my dad always said, when you leave a job, you got to write your boss a note, like no matter what, and thank him and whatever. And I just thought that was like a really cool thing. So
yeah, I drew him a little note. Thing.
Yeah. So I wrote him a little note thanking him how much I appreciated working there. And on the front, the Aloha monkey from Sailor Jerry, where he's spreading his ass cheeks in the O in Aloha. Yeah. So I put his face on it, and everybody was like, what the fuck? You're really going to give that to him? And like, apparently he loved it and keeps it in his office and shit. So I think that helps.
It's the kind of shit I would like. Yeah.
Have you ever had anyone leave and give you a note like that, or like put in their 2 weeks and, stay the 2 weeks, not just like walk off and it's over, but stay the 2 weeks. And during those 2 weeks, you're trying to think of, like what that last day is going to be like. And, I'm always happy for them because I know they're moving on most of the time anyway to something good. And sometimes they're moving out of town, but, every now and then, I wish they were staying, and so I don't, it's tough because like you just said, you write this note and try to end on good terms. Like you're breaking up basically. And instead of, shit talking one another or whatever and leaving on bad terms, I think the best way to do it is to leave on good terms. And every once in a while, there's been a few anyway, where, for me, it's been pretty tough. Not that I was being fake, or maybe I was a little bit towards the end, but I always try anyway to end on good terms. I think that's really important because, especially with somebody who's really done, like contributed to our success, let's say, because I've had probably a handful of people come back, so they go for various reasons, like, I don't know, maybe they take a job that's closer to home because their commute was shitty, and so I'm going to take, I don't have to commute. Like I can commute a half hour less every day, and that's going to add up. Right. And so they take that job, but then they're at that job for a year or two sometimes. And they're like, this job sucks. I actually really liked it at Shirkong. That's worth a half hour drive. I hate who I work with and all this kind of stuff. And they come back. And isn't it great that we did leave on good terms, because I'd rehire him. Do you go through that, Dylan, ever? And what about you, Max?
I've only had one assistant, so I've never actually hired anybody, but except this summer I got an intern, And I got so crazy. The work got so insane this summer. And I was like, dude, you're hired. Sorry. You're going to be, he thought he was going to like learn to print all this cool stuff. And I was like, you're going to be folding shirts and like burning screens and help me out. So, but he was stoked. So I have him now actually, because of the holiday break. He goes to school in Savannah. But yeah, that's the only person I've ever hired, and he's awesome. And I don't want him to go back to school. So, what's up, James?
That's the worst. Is when they.
Yeah, I've actually jokingly tried to get people to drop out of school and say, because I've had that same thing where like, hey, they work here the whole summer and they're awesome, or they interned here, and I'm like, you don't want to go back to school. What's that worth? It's like, what are you really going to get from that anyway? Stay here. Yeah. But deep down, I know you got to finish it. But
it's like right now, like I have Zach. We call him Elder Zach because we have 2 Zachs. But like, he's a great dude and he's a great employee and he's like fun to be around and he gets the vibe here and he's like a great worker and he's willing to come in like on his own extra time to like get shit done. He's just a good dude. But we've known since he's been hired that like his ultimate goal is to like go in the Air Force. And like right now he's doing like flight training. So like he actually just got his schedule for that where like he's going to go like every Wednesday for like an hour in the or like an hour or 2 in the morning. He's going to miss work because he's got like flight school. So it sucks to know that like, in a year or 2, this guy's going to be gone. Like there's no stopping him. There's no like, hey, like, I'll give you $1 more an hour if you stay. It's like, he's like, no, that's my goal. You know what I mean? Like, I'm working here because I needed a job. Like his job before here was, I think he worked for the town and he like, like picked up garbage off the side of the road or like raked some shit or did whatever. And that pay sucked and the job sucked, whatever. And then he got a job here just looking for another job. But he's like learned the skill. And like I said, we're like a close knit kind of like family group. And it just sucks knowing that like you have that guy and it's hard to find somebody that fits that mold and he's leaving. So,
I think that's good and bad actually, because at least like you can plan for it. So you're like, he's going to be there for X amount of time. Sucks. And that's way better than somebody just coming in and say, hey, Dylan, I'm putting in my 2 weeks. And then he's just gone. Yeah. So it does.
And he's a dick and he's lazy for 2 weeks.
Well, my thing is I'm thinking about it in like future plans of like, okay, I've got Zach. He's going to be great here. When he does leave, it's going to suck. But then I think about later in life when I'm like doing crazy shit on some like island somewhere. And I'm like, in the movie, there's always that one dude who knows somebody to call. And then all of a sudden this fucking helicopter drops out of the sky and like picks him up. Oh, yeah. That's going to be Zach for me. I'm going to be like, hey, dude, I'm stranded on this like thing. And Zach's going to be like, I got you. And he like shows up in like a jet or something and fucking picks me up, takes off. I'm like, oh, it's Zach. That's what I'm hoping.
I laughed when you described his first job of picking up like garbage on the side of the road and stuff, just only because sometimes I look at those guys and I'm like they're like, I live in Manayunk in Philadelphia and there's like little town on Main Street. There's like street sweepers and they clean up and shit. And I look at them sometimes before work and I'm like, man, that's the life. I'm like envious. They get to be outside and stuff and not print shirts, but yeah.
Yeah. I have that a little bit too with certain jobs, but I think it's one of those things like you would like it for like a week or 2 and then you'd be like, all right, I've had my fill. Like for like the dudes who like mow golf courses or like mow the like inner lane of a highway where it's just grass for like miles. Like, I
and they like park their cars like down the street. Yeah. I'm like, oh man, they like drove here and
all they got to do is fucking put headphones in and sit there on a mower all day. That sounds amazing.
But I just sit there with headphones and print shirts. It's not that bad. Like same thing.
Maybe it's like the grass is always greener though, because they're probably thinking, man, wouldn't it be so cool if I could just have my own print shop or whatever, but I don't know how to drive this tractor for another year. I could save up maybe and buy myself a press or something. You never know. Yeah. Like that.
Do you always hear people being like, oh, if I owned my own print shop, I'd be printing my own clothes all the time. I hear that all the time. Like, yeah, it's not that fucking easy. Or you don't want to just do extra shit for no reason because you want a Misfit shirt you don't want to pay for.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be printing my own band shirts or all this other stuff. I'm like, yeah, until you have to like make the screen and clean it and mix the inks. And it's like my own kids ask me, they're like, Dad, will you make me a shirt? I'm like, yeah, I'll cut that shit in vinyl and press it. Like, I'm not fucking making the screen, doing the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's probably
any
the same
girlfriend
as,
I've
like,
ever had that I bring to the studio is like, can we make a shirt today? I'm like, no.
It's not worth that much to me.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you're printing stuff for them. You said you took on contract work. How did that develop? Did you like search them out, or did they come to you and then you work together for a while?
They just came to me. I don't do any advertising like at all. And it's just been all word of mouth. And then I moved to a building where there was a digital printer, and he was like, "Oh, people are always asking me for screen printing." So we hooked up that way. And this other one reached out because I was like not the only one, but like one of the rare shops that does water-based ink and discharge. So he just needed some help with doing that kind of stuff. So that's how that started. And it came at a time. Any time I've ever gotten like any like big thing happen, it's come at a time where I'm like, I need to either find a job or like some new clients. And then the contract printing came in, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't even know this was a thing. So it was like perfect timing, and it helped me pay off some debt that was pretty shitty. And it got to be a lot with the contract printing, but I still have my other clients and stuff.
I was going to say, so nowadays you kind of got rid of the contract stuff. So you're still just doing your regular client work and hoping that you have enough time now to focus on more stuff for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have enough clients where it makes me pretty good money and I can pay the bills and have a little extra. And that was the thing. It was so much contract work where it started to, like I did and I know comparing each job is kind of weird because some jobs are priced differently and whatever, you're making more money on a more expensive garment or something. But I printed a job, like a contract job one day, and I made it took me like an hour and a half. I made like $60. And then the day after I printed like a bunch of tote bags for a client. It took me 2.5 hours and I made like 600. And I was like, okay. I was like, I can survive without this. So
right, exactly.
How did you make up your contract pricing? Because did you like do what a lot of people do and just found somebody else's contract pricing and then say, oh, that's pretty close? Because for us, it was pretty tough to, because how are we going to discount it so that I actually that we do make money, instead of the $60, like you said?
It's tough. He actually came to me. Both shops came to me with pricing, and I was like, "Yeah, it looks good." It was just the same when I got hired at the design place. They were like, "We're going to pay you this much," and I was like, "I'm rich." And then three months later, I was like, "What the fuck did I just do? I'm getting paid like dirt." But learning.
That's the thing is funny. Like with contract, you say it's contract. I know when most people think of contract printing, they're thinking like, okay, you've got this company that's coming to you and they're just going to send you tons of consistent work like every day. Okay, we're going to send you 5 to 10 jobs a day. And that's why it's worth giving them this like discounted print rate, is because you don't ever have to deal with the customer. They're sending you the garments. Everything's supposed to be ready for the most part, which we all know is rarely the case that everything's ready. Yeah. And there's these people that come to you like from time to time that say they want to do contract, but really all they want to do is order the shirts and hope you're going to give them the contract rate so that they make more money on the deal when really they should just let you handle the whole thing. Because we get that from time to time where it's like a clothing line or it's, some company that wants to order maybe like once a month and they're like, oh, we want to do contract. And it's like, all right, well, it got to the point where we were just like, all right, well, we're just going to charge you what we would normally charge for screen printing. Like if we were to take our regular screen printing pricing chart, just not put the blank in or charge extra for the blank, this is what we're charging you. And they're like, well, that's way too high. This other place will do it for 15 cents a shirt or whatever. I'm like, well, that's fucking dog shit. That's like, go there then. Like, why are you even bothering with me? Right. And it's like, why should I do the exact same amount of work we're normally going to do, like making screens and stepping your art and doing the whole thing for pennies when it's the exact same work? If anything, most of the time it's harder because you're sending us blanks that are just fucking like mismatched, or it's from it's a shirt we've never printed on before. Like we don't know how it's going to like have dye migration or issues or whatever. Or we find out that every shirt in the box is individually bagged and folded, and we have to take them all out of the bags and everything else.
It's just nightmare. I hate that.
The thing is, it's like shit. The only way I want to do contract with somebody is if it's like a really good relationship back and forth. And I feel like those are the kind of contractors that Andy has, is where they're kind of like selected.
Right.
And we have a few of those, and we've had them before. We kind of started turning a lot more of that stuff down. But the only way I want to do it is if it's with somebody I know it's going to be, they're not going to bat an eye at pricing. They just need us to actually print the job, and it's it. Like, we're the printers and we get respected and paid what we should be paid, and we'll do the job for them. But I feel like there's way too many people out there just trying to make it a little extra on each shirt, and they're trying to cut all these corners, and it's always the printer that gets fucked, because you will get those shit shirts from somebody and they're going to blame you when the print doesn't come out good, even though that's a shirt you've never printed on before. You don't know anything about it. You're just putting ink to the shirt, and something happens. And then you know what happens? We have to rebuy those blanks and then do the whole thing, and we lose a ton of money.
Yeah, that's the worst.
So that's where I'm like, nah, fuck that shit. I don't want to do that.
I think I've figured it out with contract work for us anyway. And that is that there are contractors out there that are great to work with, because sort of like you said, they give you regular work. They don't question pricing. The pricing is understood. The artwork is always done. The shirts don't check in. In other words, they just show up and you open the boxes or the bins and print them. And the process is simple. Like, it just makes sense. And also, you're not printing just soul crushing, awful, like corporate work at maybe the the graphics are cool. And so the press ops like it, and it just runs smooth. And most importantly, they pay on time, or even sometimes early. And I think that if you have that sort of relationship, then that contract work can be a really good part, or a really good portion of your work. It's the contractors that really shouldn't be contractors, kind of like what you were talking about, where you almost have to hold their hand through the whole process, like a normal customer, and you have to do a lot of work. And sometimes I even have to do art. Their shirts come in from all over. Like, it's a hot mess. It doesn't even make sense. The POs are lousy, and then they don't pay on time. They're like, wait a second, time out. We're done, And so I think that's what we're going to do. And a lot of times those contractors are the ones that aren't ordering regularly. Maybe they order every couple months. Like, they place one order every 2 or 3 months or something like that. And I think that's one of the clients in the type of clients that we're going to eliminate in 2022 is that sort of contractor, because I want to do some contract work. I just don't want to do others. I think we need to be very picky when it comes to a contractor.
Yes. Speaking of being picky about clients and that kind of thing, I ultimately, I would really love, I know this is like kind of a stretch, but I would love to be able to like only print stuff that I'm designing. And then, but I have been thinking, I do have to be picky about like clients that I choose to keep going with. And because there's I don't know if you guys ever had a client where it just like nothing is working. Like every time they send you something happens, and you're like, why with this one person is this, something's always happening? And I think I gotta, get rid of some of those guys. Yeah.
Those are red flag customers that we've been really focusing on getting rid of.
Yeah.
It seemed like quite a bit lately now I'm getting that, Morgan or Sarah coming over to me and be like, well, so-and-so wants to order again. And last time we worked with them, he was a real asshole, or, he gave us this art and then complained about it when it was the colors that he picked and all this stuff. I'm like, that's a red flag customer. We had this meeting. I told you, I gave you full, authority to be like, all right, well, this person doesn't fit what we want to do, and tell them, we're full right now, and we could recommend them to someone else if they want. It's like,
so is that how you're going to put it? Because I don't know how to put it so that I don't upset
like
them, because what do you say to somebody that we just had a problem customer that came through embroidery, and we're like, oh my gosh, like we can never work with this person again, never, because we tried, we jumped over so many hurdles to make them happy, and they never became happy. And I'm like, we cannot do this next year. How do we tell them no?
Mm-hmm.
You know, or we cross our fingers that like it seemed like they were so unhappy. Why would you even come back here? You know, like every step of the way you were upset. Why just go somewhere else? Like,
because it was just, they were
normal.
just being over dramatic, and most of it was just them wanting to whine and be heard. But the truth of it is when we first started saying no, we started saying, okay, we're pretty booked up right now, but we'd like to help you out. Here's some printers that we'd like to send you to. And then people, in my mind, I thought people would just be like, okay, like we'll go somewhere else. But there's been a lot of people who have been like, no, like we found you. We really like what you do. We really want to work with you. We're willing to wait. And I'm like, fuck, well, that didn't work.
Yeah.
So then we have to make up other shit like, oh no, we're just too busy. And there's this one guy who's literally willing to wait like 6 months to be like, because we told him, we're like, yeah, we're kind of booked up till like, well, this was months ago now, but we were like, yeah, we're kind of booked up to end of January. And he's like, all right, I'll wait. And we were just like, well, fuck, like, what are we going to tell him in January? But I think it's getting to the point now where we're just telling people like, hey, we read through everything you have. It just doesn't look like you're kind of in our mold or you fit in our wheelhouse. But we still want to help you out as much as possible. I think it's just that thing. It's kind of like just being honest and kind of like a quick breakup of being like, we just don't feel like you fit well with what we're trying to do.
Wow.
And
never thought about that.
It sucks, but it's like, what else do you do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I could lie to them and just be like, we're overbooked. And then they try to hit us up later. And then we constantly have to be like, we're overbooked. And then they're like, well, fuck these guys. I'd rather just be like, hey, like what you're trying to do isn't what we're trying to do. So
yeah,
like
that's cool.
We had someone the other day that came to us and it was the same thing. It was kind of like, they were, I don't remember what it was. It was some design that was overcomplicated. Like it didn't need to be this way. It was like, and they wanted it to be a one color, but it was like a line drawing of this thing. And it had like all this shading in it. And it was just, we told them like, hey, this is the best way this is going to come out. And we were telling them honestly, like, hey, if you want this to look good, screen printed, like this is what I would recommend doing, but it's going to at least be a 3-color. And because they had all these grays and gradients and everything else, we're like, if we do this in white and try to halftone everything, it's going to be a mess. Like, it's just not going to look good. Like it's not going to translate well. They're going to be unhappy, and then they're going to come back to us and be like, you printed this like shit, and then we're going to have to reorder the whole thing. It's not fucking worth it. So I told Morgan, I was like, tell him this is the way it's going to be. And if he doesn't like it and he comes back with an argument of, but I want it this way, we're going to say, you're not really fitting here, whatever, and turn him down and send him on his way. Like that's. I
wonder if you could say, like, instead of you're not fitting here, like making it sound like it's his problem. What if you said something like,
it's not you, it's me.
Right. That's what I mean. I'd rather be like, you're an asshole and we don't like you. Go somewhere else.
Right. But basically say it's not you, it's me. But in different words, like say something like, look, we've taken on a lot of projects and we don't have any extra time available right now. And so
that goes back to the same thing where they're like, all right, well, wait.
Like we don't have any time available in 2022.
No, they'll wait. I would much rather be like, hey, we know from experience from all these years of doing this that like what you want us to do isn't going to work well. Like you came to us to make this thing for you. We're the experts in telling you straight up, like this is not going to look good. And then you fight us and say, no, it's going to look good because I've burned it into my fucking mind that it's going to look this way. Those are the worst clients to have because no matter what you do, it's not going to match the expectations of what they already planted in their own mind of what it's going to look like.
Right. But what about for the client that you can make look good? I mean, it is in your wheelhouse, but you just don't like them or they're just a jerk every time to your team.
Then we say, hey, you've been an asshole. Here's the road, bud.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna try that next time.
Okay.
Hey, you've been an asshole. Here's the road.
Yeah. It's right here.
See how that goes.
But that's the thing that people don't get is like, we don't have to take everybody's fucking business. Like,
no, we don't.
We're not McDonald's. Like we don't have to take your shit. Like if you come here and it doesn't fit us or you're a dickhead, like, sorry, like we don't have to fucking print your job. Like, to me, it's not worth the money.
I think there's a way to put it, and I'm going to script it so that it makes sense, because these girls don't want a customer upset with them, or it's like, oh, well, let me talk to the owner. I mean, I got that just this last week. I had a negotiator again.
I promise you, if you start turning shit down more, like, everybody at work is going to be so much more happy.
Well, we've already started. Like, we already have started with the minimums and everything like that. And I did what Drew said at 320, and we have a referral card, that we have in a clip, right at the front counter when somebody comes in, and like, that's not the thing that we can do, whether it's a DTG or whatever it is. We just say, hey, but these guys do it. And they're like, oh, cool, thanks. And that works. I'm talking about the customer that is just a pain in the ass that does meet your minimums and all this kind of stuff. Like, how do you break up with them? Because I think it's harder, especially if you've printed for them for a year or 2 or 3 or whatever. And I just had somebody that was a negotiator that, again,
Chris
just a couple of days ago. And I lost them. But they had what I did that finally, because I was just like getting nowhere at the front counter with his, like, he was adamant about a certain price. And I said, hey, check this out. Come here. And I brought him back because he wanted a 5-color design. And I brought him back to a press. It was actually printing a 4-color. I lucked out. And I showed him, I said, here, look, we're printing, it was printing right on press. Look, 1 color, flash, 2 color. I walked him all the way on the press, showed him at the end of the dryer. And I said, we have to make a screen for every single color. I think he didn't understand the difference between 1 color and 5 color. Like, it wasn't a big deal. Just like stamp it on the fucking shirt. Like, why are you charging me more? And so I showed him. Sometimes I think if you show them what it actually does take, it worked that time anyway. And he didn't even ask again. Like, he just paid at the front counter and bought the shirt.
Then they're going to be like, well, what if you charge me for 4-color and I'll just come in that day and I'll print that 5th color myself? Mm-hmm. Can you give me a discount?
I love that kind of shit. I love when someone's like, well, I know that you could fit 2 of these images on one screen. And I'm like, right. You come in and you print the fucking thing. Yeah. I can't stand that.
Yeah. Those are the kind of people that literally we just have called here red flag customers. So anytime we get an email from somebody or somebody who's looking to get an order going and we can already see one red flag, if it's artwork or their tone of voice or just anything they do in the email that already makes us think, this guy's going to suck. Yeah. It's not worth the money. It's not worth it because of the fact that how many times with those customers is it a huge headache for the person in customer service who has to deal with that person and setting it up, and they always want all these demands, or B, we print a job and then they're unhappy with it because of the expectations that they already set in their mind of this is the way it has to be perfectly, or if it's not like that, then I'm going to throw a temper tantrum. And then we end up having to reprint the whole fucking thing, or they leave us a shitty review.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
It's not.
Yeah. That's why I try to have everybody I try to almost like hold people's hands, like when they first start with me. Cause like you can tell in that first initial email that this guy might be a fucking pain in the ass.
Right.
And I'm really good now with like vetting those people, but you cannot. Yeah.
The other option with that we've also done too is like if it's kind of a red flag, but it's not like over the top where it's like, okay, fuck this person. It's not like I'm trying to be a dick to customers because I'm not. Mm-hmm. But like I'm more of the camp now of like this guy the other day with the artwork that wanted a 1-color. I told her, I was like, just be brutally honest. Be like, we know that this artwork would come out better if we did it this specific way. Like we're trying to meet you in the middle here. We're trying to make this design A, look really good, and B, be as least amount of colors as possible. Yeah. Like if you want it to be 1-color, we're going to have to do this solely as a line drawing, like no shading, the bridge isn't going to be gray. Like there's going to be no fades. Like this will be the best way this comes out. And even then we're only charging you as a 1-color, but we're going to do it as a 2-color because we're going to do an underbase white and a highlight white, but the highlight white is only going to be the thin lines. And then the other stuff's going to be underbased. But to us, we don't charge extra for an underbase. So it just is what it is. Like we're still going to do this to where it looks extra good. But to us, it's a 2-color. So anyway, like I had her tell that guy that, and I said specifically, I was like, if he comes back arguing more like he doesn't agree with that or say, okay, let's go that way or whatever, then tell him, hey, sorry, you're not going to fit here. Here's somewhere else to go, because it's not worth carrying that conversation on even more.
Yeah.
I have a solution. I have a solution for Max.
Yeah.
So you have that customer at your front counter and they're arguing or negotiating, and you say, okay, fine. If you beat me at a game of pool.
Oh yeah. I have an idea about that.
then fine. You can have your price.
Yeah. I've been thinking about this idea where a client comes in and picks up their stuff, and I'm like, all right, if you want 5% off, you got to try to beat me. And if they beat me, then they get whatever they're.
It's a win-win, because A, you get somebody to play you at pool.
Exactly.
And B, if they win,
I need
then
some competition.
Right. Exactly.
But I want to print shirts. Like a shirt, like I lost at Birdwatchers, and all I got was this right. amazing quality printing and my ass kicked on the pool table or whatever. And then a winner shirt. It's in my idea list in my sketchbook. You
should totally do that. It rules.
Yeah.
I don't remember where we left off in this story, but so you gave up the contract stuff. Are you trying to? Oh, I know where this was going. Is that you were talking about how you wanted to someday, hopefully, use mostly your artwork for your customers? Yeah. Have you been pushing that to be like, hey, like, I don't know, I guess like with social media or anything, like trying to put your art out there more to where you're getting back people that specifically want to work with you because they know you can draw them something and print it, like do the whole package?
Yeah, I've been trying to. I'm terrible with like self-promotion and social media. I like really don't like it, but I'm trying to like push more of the stuff that I'm doing, like personally, because I feel like with a big portfolio, that's the way I could get more people into what I'm doing and stuff like that.
There's a guy that I've been working with for forever. Like I've been working with for 12-ish more years now. That Dave, Andy, you've met him. He's in our book club, but that's pretty much what he does. Is like he was a designer first, and then he got to where pretty much people kept always asking to make a t-shirt design for, like, they might go somewhere else to get it printed or whatever. So he's got really into design, and then pretty much he was like, all right, well, I'm gonna like broker t-shirts. Basically, I'm going to make the design, and then I'm going to sell them on shirts, and then I'm going to make my cut, and I'm going to give them the final product of like, I designed it, I put it on shirts, here's your shirts. And me and Dave have been working together for, like I said, 12 years or more, just doing that. Like all of his jobs, for the most part, he designs, does the whole package. So he charges them an art fee, and then he charges them whatever it is for the shirts. So he makes some on the printing because we have like a deal, and then he makes whatever he makes on doing the design work. And it's funny, you can always tell that like in his area or his bubble that it's always like shirts by Dave, because it'll be a brewery or it'll be a restaurant or it'll be a church group or whatever. And it's always his style.
Yeah.
And people come to him for that specifically because they're like, well, normally I would have to get a design done over here, and then I'd have to take that design to the t-shirt printer and do this whole thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of like it because it's like this one-stop shop of like, you make what you know is going to print really well.
Yeah.
And then there's no excuses. Like you're designing it for print for yourself. So.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's how my work is anyway. So that's how I'd like to be able to. Learning screen printing totally changed the way I do illustration or design. I'm constantly always thinking like, how can this be screen printed? Like I'm never designing anything that can't be screen printed.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I've been thinking a lot lately. I would love to have a package of like, because a lot of people are like, how much for 12 shirts with like a design on it? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like, I don't have like a thing yet for that, like a package, like a price list or anything. So I would like to eventually put together, some pricing where it includes the artwork and like maybe like the first round of shirts cost this much, but then if you reorder from me, then you know it'll be a different price. And I've been I want to get into so the league, the pool league that I'm in, it's eight players a team. So sometimes people come to me and they want shirts, but they're like, I only need like 8. And I'm like, God damn it. Cause I try to get with the 24 minimum kind of thing. But, so I've started it. I'm putting together like a little list of like how much it's going to cost with the design, simple type design, big illustration design, all kinds of stuff. And just to have a package for like 8 to 16 shirts.
I was going to say, like, if you're in that niche market though, like, which you easily could be because you're already in it and you know the lingo and everything, maybe you just charge a premium for 8 shirts because they're going to pay for them.
Yeah.
Like if you're a dude on a team, you're probably willing to pay whatever to have your team shirt or whatever. So you could charge a premium for the shirt, and then you could also charge the design fee and just have it be like, people know to go to you if they want like a pool team shirt.
Oh yeah.
So are you pushing that at all, or that's the plan, I guess?
Not yet. Well, yeah. I mean, I just got rid of this contract printer, this contract printing account. So I've just been like trying to deal with the clients that I have now.
Right.
And then I figured, after December, I don't know if it happens to you guys, but I'm like super dead after Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Like wild. Okay, cool. Well, not cool.
It's not just you.
Okay, cool.
generally from Christmas till the end of February is like slow season for most people.
Yeah. So I have that. I want to be able to do that because I recently printed a job for somebody for a pool team and they wanted like 12 shirts. And I was like, man, I should really like do this because people ask me all the time for pool shirts. Some of them want those like crazy all over,
right? Like
polyester bullshit, but like I just want.
So we got the Guy Fieri.
Yeah, dude. Some of the shit is wild that these people make. And that's something else I kind of want. I know it's like such a small like world is the pool world, but like I look at what people do and I'm like, oh God, but like how many 8 balls with flames and skulls and city lines are you going to do? So
that's the thing that's the thing that rules with you is you have the skills to change that. Like all you need to do is like a couple, like find out who are the teams that people will look up to, and then try to get to work with them. And then after that, it's going to be like, well, you have a resume of I did this team, I did this team, I did this team, I did this team, and I did the artwork for them. And then people aren't going to care about like the crazy all over prints or full color or this and this. They're going to want the fact that they got a shirt made by you, designed by you, and then you can design it as whatever the fuck you want to design it as. Yeah. There can't be that many fucking screen printers that are focused on the pool market.
I don't think there's any. I don't think
that's what I mean.
There
like
there might be one.
you have that market cornered for the most part. You should start to take advantage of it a little bit.
Yeah. I have been. A lot of my work has been like mostly pool related, just because like that's like my social life and all kinds of shit. It's like what I'm really into, and so I'm trying to push that. I'm trying to just have fun and make art and also not put too much pressure on like making money. But I've had to like kind of tell myself that the past couple of months, like, all right, like you're not going to be rich and famous from drawing. So like, just have fun with it, make money with screen printing and, just try to go towards the things you like rather than like what I think people are going to like. And also like commercial printing. Like, I don't want to be stuck doing that. Not that it's not a good gig because, I'm sure you guys are doing well, but I just have some different goals as far
everybody
as like
does it their own way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all have our own end goal or how we want to be happy or whatever. So, I mean, the way I do it is different than a lot of people like to do it just because I'm happy with this fueling my passions about whatever. So, are you trying to print more and more apparel for yourself as far as a brand, or are you trying to do a lot of like posters and t-shirts and everything else?
So this Living Good thing, I always wrote Living Good on like all my Birdwatchers stuff. And people are like, what is that? And I'm like, I don't know. It's just like this stupid thing I write on it. And during the pandemic, my brother was like, what's that Living Good? Why do you do that? And I was like, I don't know. It's just something I got it from like a 50 Cent song when I was in high school. But I've always like wrote it and drew it and all kinds of stuff. And so I'm kind of pushing that as like the brand. sort of thing. Cause we kind of like started it as this brand, like t-shirt brand, and he's really into golf and I'm really into pool. So we figured we can kind of like mix and do that kind of shit. And then, yeah, I don't know. Then I just got super busy with printing and,
you
I kind of fell short, but
yeah, you want to focus
like
on it. It just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just been very recent where like my workload has lightened up a little bit and I've kind of like really tried to focus more on illustration and design and the Living Good brand. Cause selling Birdwatcher stuff, it's like a weird name to sell. So
they're like, I'm not into bird watching. Why would I buy that?
Yeah. Sometimes people, you can't really sell like your company shirt over and over and over again before people get tired of it. So I figured I needed like a brand name that could be kind of cool and whatever.
All right. Well, I have 2 questions for you before we go to questions for us.
Cool.
And the first one is, how do you make a pool table laugh?
God, Andy.
How do you make a pool table laugh?
Yeah, it's a good one.
I don't know.
It's good to Andy. It's probably going to be fucking god awful.
Dylan, I really wanted to guess.
Dylan, I think you're going to appreciate this. The answer is you tickle its balls.
Oh, I was going to say tickle the felt, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. That's good.
Okay. I do like it.
And the second question is, you said you listened to one episode. Which one was it?
The guy with the selling he does a tractor trailer like rental.
The trailer rentals.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and then my headphones.
Pick that one at random.
Yeah, just on Spotify, just super random.
He was like, this one.
Yeah, I was like, "This is anybody I know? Nobody I know." That guy. It's kind of how it is.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any questions for us? Deep, dark questions, secrets. I'll tell you anything.
Do you guys play pool? I know you do, or did, sort of.
Kind of. Not really.
Yeah,
that's the thing when I was a kid. That's why I asked you if your parents took you to bars, is because I remember when I was a kid, my dad and mom would go to the bar and like pretty much we weren't allowed at the bar area, but they would allow us to like play pool. So I remember my dad would always give us like a stack of quarters and just be like, go fucking play pool while I like do adult shit over here.
That's how we grew up. Just like stack of quarters, go play video games and have fun and like get lost in the bar.
Right. Pretty much. Yeah.
Have you ever gotten in a fight over a pool game at a bar?
No.
What he really wants to know is if you broke a stick over a table and fought somebody with it, because that's what everyone wants to know.
No, I wouldn't do that. Again, that's respect the equipment. That should be, shit, I should have put that in the billiard etiquette poster. That would have been a good
That's a question I have is, do you have your own like custom stick?
It's not custom, but it's like a really dope one. Yeah, it's like awesome.
Like, do you bring out to the bar with you? It's in a case.
Yeah, I have a break cue and a regular cue. It's pretty cool.
You do have your own stick.
Yeah, I want a like a custom I want a custom cue ball with like Birdwatchers or Living Good on it, but I got to find a good one.
That's awesome. Yeah, so what you should do. You should print sticks.
I thought about it. I thought about like getting like the cylindrical whatever printer.
Yeah, like the one they do with glassware.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I should get one of those.
You should. I think you can buy those. I've seen people buy like the glass printing or the whatever it is. I've never really got into it, but you can buy like a kit on eBay, I think, that you can print like glasses with. So you should just get a cheap thing and just try it yourself. It can't be that fucking difficult.
Yeah. I just got pens made recently because when I was in Atlantic City for the APA tournaments, everybody was asking everybody for pens. And I was like, I'm going to get a shitload of pens made. And next time I come here, I'm just going to sell them for like $2 for $1 or whatever. So I just got like all my business information printed on them. And I'm looking at them like super close, of course. And I'm like examining it. And I email the guy. I'm like, were these screen printed? And he's like, yeah. I was like, holy shit, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
Just little tiny pens.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to print my own pens. That'd be fun.
You should. Yeah. Fuck it.
Sounds like a mess though.
Yeah. All right, Andy, do you want to do some quick takes?
Yes, sir. I can't remember who kicks it off, though.
You do. I have it in front of me. It says Andy.
Oh, yeah. But there it is. So, Max, what's one thing you need every day?
Some marijuana.
All day, every day.
Not all day. I can't do all day. I'll fuck up way too many shirts.
Just first thing. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Do you have a dog?
A dog. No.
But you prefer dogs.
I had a dog. Great Dane.
That's a big dog.
Layla. Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Layla.
Yeah. She was a great apartment dog. Slept for like 18 hours a day. People are like, how could you have a Great Dane in the city? I'm like, how could you have a fucking black lab in the city? That thing wants to run around. My dog wants to like just chill.
Just sleep.
That was it. Yeah.
All right. Andy, you got the next one.
What gets you really pumped?
Kicking someone's ass at pool.
That gets me really fucking pumped. Winning any sort of tournament. If I'm with I don't want to get too graphic. Yeah. Get
graphic.
Winning stuff in the pool. Yeah, if I win any tournament or anything like that, and I have a girl with me that night, then
she's getting your A game. She's getting your A game.
I don't know. Yeah, for real. Yeah,
that's all I need to hear. You can be honest with me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I guess
all
cool.
Right. What gets you pissed off?
What fucking doesn't?
That's it. Nope. Don't answer anymore. That's all I wanted.
Good answer.
Done.
I feel like a lot of these answers are going to be
that's what
similar.
The read is for. Yeah.
Right. A little less
Right,
pussy.
So where's your happy place?
I guess it's seasonal, but like Belmar Beach, Ocean Ave, it's my favorite place. In the winter, my happy place is on the mountain, snowboarding. And then just in general, my apartment. I love my apartment.
Where do you snowboard in where you're at?
Usually Blue Mountain, up in the Poconos.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you guys?
I'm in New York, like just north of the PA border. So I'm like,
okay,
not that far. Like I'm probably a couple hours from you.
Yeah.
So that's why I was wondering. I think I can't remember what it's called, but there's that one that I always hear on the radio that's in PA that everyone always goes to. Like the only thing I have near me is Greek Peak. And then they always talk about it's like Blue Ridge or something.
Blue Mountain.
It might be that same one you're talking about.
You've been to Mountain Creek up there, like Mount Vernon.
Mount Vernon sounds familiar, but I don't snowboard, so I'm the I'm the last person to talk to you about that. I would just slide down the hill if anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Andy, is it you or me?
It is you.
Okay. Big party or small gathering?
Super small gathering.
Like just yourself?
Yeah. Just a few people. Not a big party guy anymore. I used to be, but no.
I was going to say, has it always been that, or is it just now that?
I think I thought about this recently because it's funny. Like I do these scenes where they're always in bars and they're on pool table and like drinking and drugs and like all kinds of seedy shit. And like I don't fucking like bars, but like I used to go to them all the time. I appreciate like an old pub, like that kind of thing. I like the scenic, like seedy, weird, like grimy kind of thing. But yeah, I don't love like going out to bars. But when I did, when I was younger, like 20 or early 20s, I remember being there and I'm like, I don't want to be doing this. Why am I here? And then I found more, then I found out like, I don't know, my 30s, I was like, oh, I just like when they have pool tables. That's why I like bars. So
I've always thought about that because it's not my world. Like I'm not a big drinker and I don't really get it. Like I don't get why people always want to go out to clubs or bars and stuff all the time, unless it's like your spot. You know what I mean? Like I get when people have like their local bar where they know on a Tuesday night if they go and get wings and beer or whatever, like so-and-so is going to be there and so-and-so is going to be there. And it's like, it's their social night of just like getting together with people and like hanging out at the bar. But there's people who just like go to the fucking bar to go to the bar and there's no reason. They're just like, I just want to get hammered. And it's like,
yeah,
I don't.
Yeah, I had a big group of friends that, you know, it was like when you weren't going out drinking, they were like, where you been? And you're like, oh, these aren't my friends. They're just like my drinking buddies, you know?
Right. Like I don't want to.
I don't get the draw when there's not a pool table at a bar. I'm like, what are you guys doing here? Like there's not even food. Like what is happening? Why are we here? So
No
better with it now
or anything. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of over venues and stuff.
So next we have sunrise or sunset.
I'd say
This is a
sunrise. I like that one. I'd say sunrise. Well, yeah, let's do sunrise.
Okay, so now that you said sunrise, I have a part B to that, and it just came to me. Have you ever run up the steps like Rocky did at sunrise at wherever? It's right by you, right?
Yeah, definitely not sunrise. But I don't know. I don't even know if I've been up those stairs. I usually go in the back if I go to the museum. But
what building is that?
That's the art museum.
Okay.
They recently took him off the stairs and they put him like on the side.
Yeah, I think I saw a photo of that where Stallone came or whatever and had that like redoing it or whatever thing.
Yeah, I don't really have any like I don't know. I don't feel like this is like my home. Like Philadelphia is like my home. Like I like the beach. Like that's where I'm from. So I guess like my Rocky would have been Jack Nicholson used to go to my high school. And on like one of the days I didn't have detention, he shows up, strolls right in. So that was like my Rocky.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
The funny thing is
one of the days I didn't have detention.
When you say sunrise or sunset and he just said sunrise, it immediately made me think of like when we were kids and you would go to a friend's house and it was like, you know, you were up at night and you're eating pizza and playing video games and your friends are like, hey, you know, it'd be cool if we just did an all-nighter. And you were like, let's just not go to bed. And you're like, and then you think about that now and you're like, that's so fucking dumb. Like there's no reason to do that at all. But I remember
sleep is so important.
I remember being that kid, like we would always stay up like super late and it's like 5 a.m. or something. You're like, I'm so fucking tired right now. Why did we do this? And then as soon as you see the sun actually rise, you're like, I did it. Like, like we've accomplished this. And then your mom or dad picks you up and you immediately go home and pass the fuck out. So I would say when I was a kid, sunrise would be important because I knew when I saw sunrise, it was victory.
Yeah, that's good. I guess you can also look at sunrise as defeating. Like in the party days, like I remember leaving houses and seeing the sun and hearing birds and you're like, fuck, why did I do this?
I definitely have been there as well.
Yeah.
So
partying on the beach though and sleeping on the beach, that was cool growing up. So sunrises are cool.
Yeah. Favorite snack?
Does French fries count?
Yeah. What kind of French fries though?
It's hard for me to turn down.
Like crinkle cut French fries or tater tots or like straight fries or like skin on like homemade potatoes French fries?
McDonald's French fries.
McDonald's
are pretty good. I like sweet potato fries. I like every type of French fry.
And do you dip the French fry into a condiment or do you just eat the fry?
If I have if I have like chicken fingers and fries at my house, I try to get like as many sauces as humanly possible, like around the plate. I want one of those like those like pill things that old people use to take their pills every day. I want to use one of those, but like for sauces.
And just flip open Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday for your attendees.
I would just open up all 7 of them and have all 7 different ones in there. Honey and barbecue and some mayo, sriracha, garlic thing that I make or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds fun. And you know what? Dylan's the opposite of that.
No condiments.
Yeah. None?
0.
Oh, you
Ever.
freak.
Yeah, I know. That's weird.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I like plain ass chicken.
Plain ass chicken, just French fry. Do you put like salt on them or anything?
Well, I mean, yes, I'm not that savage. I like salt and pepper.
Yeah.
But
is there like a beef you have? Like you just don't like them like to be sweet or anything, or just nothing?
I just feel like when people get sauces for like chicken tenders or chicken nuggets or anything like that, or they make a chicken sandwich and they put sauce all over it, it's like you can't taste the sandwich anymore. All you taste is the fucking condiment you put on it. Like you're literally just having texture with that taste of barbecue sauce or with like
I get that.
honey mustard or whatever. It's like if I'm eating a chicken sandwich, I want it to taste like a fucking chicken sandwich. Like I don't want it to taste like
I think you're
saturated in honey mustard.
I think you might be over saucing. I had this morning, I made eggs and I put ketchup on the plate. I don't normally do that, but I felt like, I felt like it. Dip you take a fork full of eggs, a little ketchup.
We know how sauce works.
Scrambled eggs?
Yes, scrambled eggs.
Okay. Yeah. I can't do the yolk.
Really?
Like a runny egg.
I love
it.
runny
Looks
eggs.
Awesome because I like sauces and it looks like another like natural sauce.
It's a natural sauce.
Tried. Yeah. But I just can't do it, man. It's weird.
I had that this morning. Like I love diners and one of my favorite things is just like over easy eggs with toast.
Yeah. And it looks great. I'm not going to lie. It looks great, but I can't even smell it. Like,
With you, I like it over medium, I would say.
I can do
you don't want to have runny whites.
Yeah.
But a good egg yolk, it makes it. Like that's the best part. It sucks when you have a beard because the shit gets in there. It's impossible.
This is like 3 months.
Solid. This morning. I clean shaved this morning. I just took a hard shit and this came out of my face.
When I first got to Philly, I was at UArts and I was kind of finding it hard to like with like meeting girls or whatever. And someone was like, well, you have to grow a beard. And I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, if girls like in art school, like love girls with beards. And I was like, oh, I have to move. This sucks.
I love that from this conversation with you, all of your life-changing pivotal moments are when someone walked up to you and said, you could do this thing, right? Or you have to do this thing. And you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I blame the education system, man. I got big beef with the education system. Most of my life is like, wait, what? I could do that?
I think it's because you're in detention all the time is what I heard earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was all of us. All my friends were doing it.
Okay. All right. It makes sense. Did I have the last question, Andy, or did you?
Oh, yeah, that's mine. What you having for dinner tonight?
Pizza and fights is all I heard.
Yeah, I think I was going to order a pizza. I have French fries from last night from Lucky's Last Chance. Oh, they're good. Oh, do you have an air fryer?
You're an air fryer guy.
You got to get an air fryer because the reheat option on an air fryer, fucking everything's perfect in that thing. Pizza, French fries, chicken fingers, whatever.
All right.
All the healthy stuff.
What kind of pizza though?
I'll probably get Santucci's. So it's like I think they call it, I don't know if they call it grandma style or reverse. It's like the cheese and then the sauce, and then they put it back in the oven.
That's like Chicago. No?
Yeah. It's kind of like
sauce on top.
Sauce on top. All right. I just didn't know if it was like thin crust or you're getting this like a Sicilian or you're going to get like a deep dish.
I can't do thin crust. Sicilian's awesome, but like if you order a Sicilian pie, you're going to eat it for like 2 months. Like I always just like throw them in the freezer. It's just too much dough. But yeah, I'll probably do. They're like normal, regular, a little thicker, I guess. But
okay,
they're pretty good.
Just pizza, like normal ass pizza.
Yeah, I don't I don't mess with too many toppings unless it's like I like mushrooms, I like hot peppers, I like black olives, but like
so all the gross shit nobody wants on pizza.
Black olives are good. Hot peppers are amazing. Mushrooms are good as long as they're like fresh mushrooms. I don't fuck with like the in the can mushrooms. I don't like those or the fun mushrooms.
Special mushrooms.
Yeah. I was thinking I have mushroom chocolates, and I was like, should I just like eat a bunch of mushroom chocolates and do this interview? That'd be
you should have
fun.
I would have
maybe
loved it. He's gonna hang up with us and be like, did I just do a podcast or did I just talk to the wall for 3 hours?
Damn it, I should have did that. Maybe next one.
Okay, we'll have you on the next one, the special mushroom episode.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Well, thanks for doing this with us, dude.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It was fun.
It's like I swear I'll listen to some episodes.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. I think we should put him on the tour, on that East Coast tour, and we come through and we stop in for a game of pool and check out your shop.
Hell yeah! Come get that smoke. Pool.
What kind of shirt do I get? What kind of shirt do I get if I win?
You get like I beat. I got to figure out the wording for it, but it's like I won at Birdwatchers, or like because I don't want it to be like I beat Max at Birdwatchers, because then people are wearing shirts that I beat Max, and I gotta figure that out.
You don't want
but like some cool illustration, and then
so
cool.
Well, where can people go to find like your art or your apparel for Living Good or Birdwatchers and so on?
So my website and my Instagram is exactly the same. It's birdwatchers.studio. That's it. And then there's like Living Good official Instagram, but I don't know. To be honest, I don't ever post to it because I'm bad at social media. And then if you go to livinggoodofficial.com or livinggoodclothing.com or livinggoodbelmar.com, it's just going to bring you to birdwatchers.studio. So big surprise.
So just go to birdwatchers.studio.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. I'm going to check it out as soon as we get off of this and get myself some sweet shirts.
Awesome. Thank you.
But hey, man, thanks again. Enjoy the fights tonight. I will be as well. And are we against each other on who's winning? Or
yeah, I think we are. Oliveira.
I'll text you when you get your ass kicked. Okay.
All right. Cool.
All right.
I think it's going to be submission, second or third round. So
okay. I'm hoping for knee to the face.
Oh, perfect.
Opening bell.
Right. First thing, run, jump, knee, dead, over.
Just like Masvidal.
Right. Exactly. All right, man.
All right.
See you later.